to show you how to mix skin colors. So I use this basic brand of acrylics, but really you can use any white. And then I have this portrait pink that I use. This is Artist Loft, but other brands make it as well. And unbleached titanium. So these are the colors I use. And then I also have on my palette, I also have a brown, like a burnt umber. And I have a red, cadmium red. And I have yellow. So I'm going to show you how to do skin color, how I do it with those three I first talked about. And then I'm going to show you how to do it if you don't have those colors and you just want to use sort of basic colors or primary colors. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with, I always start with white. And you can do this with a paintbrush too. So I get some white. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the unbleached titanium, put that in and see what happens. Okay, so already we're getting pretty good skin color. And then I add a tiny bit of this portrait pink. See what happens. So there, that could be a base for skin color. Let's do a little more. You can make it a little more pink if you want. Okay, so that's a pretty good base for skin color, and then I'll show you how you can adapt it and change it for different skin tones, or if you want to do some shading. So I'm going to take a little bit of this one. I probably would add a little bit more white to it overall. Maybe a tiny bit more pink. Let's see. Like a science when you're mixing paints. Okay, so I have a little bit over here now, and I'm going to add some brown. So I use burnt umber, but you can use whatever you want. And there, we've got a nice darker skin tone that you can also use for shading. Okay, so I like that shade. I like to have sort of a variety of different shades, and then I'm going to take a little bit more of that base and add way more dark, and that's a nice color there, I would say. So there's sort of a range of skin tones using the unbleached titanium, portrait pink, and white. It's really easy, as you see, to do a whole variety of skin tones. You can even go lighter too with this by adding more white if you want. So that's that. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with just primary colors. So it's harder to do, but we're going to give it a try. So we're going to start with our white, just making sure you can see this. Start with our white. I'm going to add a titch of red to make it sort of a pinky color. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. And then I'm going to add a titch of yellow. Like when I say a titch, I mean like tiny, tiny. Hardly any. So that's going to give you like a pinky. So I'm trying to make it more orange now by adding in the... So that's a totally different skin tone there, but it's pretty good. I like it. I would probably add a little bit more white just for my base. And that did a pretty good job, so you don't have to go out and get special colors. Just use what you have. That is a pretty good skin tone. If you compare it to that one, it's almost the same. Surprises me, actually. I thought this would be harder. Okay, so there's that. And then you do the same thing with this one. You just add the... So I'm just take a little bit over here and add a little touch of brown. And you can see how you can get your different shades again that you want. You can also use burnt sienna as your brown, and that will give you like a little bit more of a sort of red skin color if you wanted. So that's great. I love that. And then I would just keep adding more and more brown if you want it darker. So there you go. There's a range of skin colors. So you can start with whichever one you want, and then you usually start your face with the basic one, and then you want to add in your darks for shading and also lights for highlights. So usually I mix about 3 different tones so that I can add them to my paintings. Okay, enjoy, have fun color mixing. Hi there. Now I'm going to show you how to do much darker skin tones. So you have to kind of reverse the process and start with your darkest values that you want, and then go backwards from there, or and go lighter from there. So this is if I just did black right out of the tube, which you can do, but you have to think you also need to have your shading. So this could be your shading color, and then you would want to go lighter. But if you went for your highlights, but if you went lighter, if I start adding white to this, it's going to be gray tones, which you don't really want. So what I do is I mix the black and the brown together. And the black I'm using is Mars Black. And the brown is the burnt umber. So you can mix these two. Actually, I'm going to do it over here so we get some ranges over here. So I'm going to take some of my black and I'm going to just mix it with the brown. So I'm kind of doing equal amounts like that. And there, you're getting more of a nicer skin tone there. Can't really tell because there's so much black, but we'll just keep going. There, that's a nice color. Okay, so then now when I make that lighter, you're gonna get a better range of colors. So now I'm gonna add tiny bit of white, see what happens. That's a really nice color. There. I feel like I could even add more brown to my base into there. There, that's a really nice color. So for example, that could be your darkest, this could be your shading, and then you need lighter for your highlights, like on the bridge of the nose. So I would usually make more. so then I'm adding more white. There, that's a pretty good color. I like that. So see how you can, it's better to work the other way than to go from your darkest and then just make it lighter that way and mix it together with some brown so you're getting some nice skin tones. You don't want like the gray. I'll just show you. If I started mixing this with a little bit of white, you could do it that way, just to get sort of a bit of a lighter color, but you don't want it to go towards gray. So if I add more white, it's starting to go gray. It's not a bad color actually, but if I added too much white, then we're going to start getting grays. But yeah, it's better to go this way, I think, but I'd love to hear your opinions on that and things that you've tried. But this is what I find works. There we go. So we've got a range of skin colors. I'm going to show you that brown I was talking about when you use burnt sienna. So this is burnt sienna basic. Just squeeze that out. Okay, so that's a color you can start with. It's kind of a really awesome color. Love that color actually. So then you can just start with that color and go lighter as well. Let's try, I would just be adding white just to make it lighter, just to get the range. Add a little bit of black on my palette there. So there you go, there's the next level. Can go again. And then you can try a variety of things and mixing the different colors, the different skin tones together to see what you get. This makes me so happy to have like a range of like skin colors on my palette. It makes me want to do a painting with multicultural painting. There, so you can see you're getting some nice sort of more red skin tones there. And you can even go like super, lots of white. And then you've got sort of almost like a pinky tone there. If you can see that, I'll pick it up. But there's a range of sort of red tones. There's a range of like black tones. And then you can see in the middle of the range of lighter skin tones. So now I'm going to show you more using brown to start with. So this time I'm using that burnt umber instead of the burnt sienna, so more of a brown skin color. And then it's just the same thing we did. So you just take a little bit and you add some white, a little bit of white. Yeah, that's a great color already. And then do the same thing where you're adding more like that. And then you can also use this, so you use more brown with a little bit of black. Let's see what tones that makes. So that was just a little bit of black. That's a really good color. You can tell I like mixing colors. It's really fun. Then I'm adding some white to that. I feel like it needs a little more black to make it a little more different. And there as well. Those are some nice. Now, I wonder what would happen if we add, so I'm going to take this brown and black. I'm going to add that burnt sienna. That is an awesome, awesome color. I don't know if you can see that. And then we're going to add some more white. So you've got a whole range here of different colors you can do, which is awesome. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe, like the video, make some comments, and send me your creations at wendymeads@hotmail.com. Thanks for watching.